Hey everybody, this is Steve, and I have a question. Why do we call St. Thomas Doubting Thomas? St. Thomas doubted that Christ resurrected from the dead. He wanted proof before he would believe. So he said to them, "Unless I see in his hands the print of the nails, and put my finger into the print of the nails, and put my hand into his side, I will not believe." Yet St. Thomas preached the gospel as far as India, and died for the faith. Despite all that, we still focus on this moment of doubt, because doubt makes us uncomfortable. There's something safe about certainty and proof. It's one reason people like science. It's nice to be able to explain the world in equations, for there to always be a right answer. It's easy to understand and predict how things work, but human beings are different. People have free will, and because of that freedom, there's always a level of uncertainty and doubt. We can feel doubt about family, about friends, about people we don't know very well. And we all definitely feel doubt about God. Talking about this can make us feel uncomfortable. We may even worry that this makes us bad, that somehow doubt is the opposite of faith. But everybody goes through doubt. We see a lot of doubt in the great saints of the Old Testament. Psalm 13, which was written by King David, is an excellent example of this, and definitely something you should read. We also see doubt in the New Testament, and not just by St. Thomas. Remember, when Christ was arrested, the disciples fled. And even after the resurrection, even after they saw that Christ rose from the dead, they still struggled with their faith. Then the 11 disciples went away into Galilee, to the mountain which Jesus had appointed for them. When they saw him, they worshipped him, but some doubted. And the disciples weren't the only ones to doubt. On their way to Christ's tomb, the Myrrhbearers struggled with their faith. They thought Christ was dead, that he was powerless, that he couldn't help them. And they said among themselves, "Who will roll away the stone from the door of the tomb for us?" Again and again, we see even the greatest of saints struggle with doubt. It's unfair of us to associate doubt with St. Thomas in particular. And it's unfair of us to feel guilt when we experience doubt. Because doubt isn't a problem. In fact, it's the very thing that allows us to have faith. Faith and knowledge are two different things. We don't have faith that 2 + 2 = 4. We just know it. We don't really have a choice when it comes to math and science, to cold hard facts. We just know. But that's not how things work in relationships, where freedom and choice are important. We can't be forced to love anyone or God. Love is something we freely accept and freely give. And that's risky because it's always possible that someone we love won't love us back. Human beings are deep mysteries. Because of free will, we can't predict how people are going to act. There's always an element of uncertainty, of doubt. And God is the deepest and greatest mystery of all. So we shouldn't be surprised if in our relationship with Him, we find a little bit of doubt. And that's not a problem. You can't have love without freedom. And freedom necessarily brings uncertainty and doubt. Now we have to choose. Will we allow that doubt to separate us? Or will we overcome that doubt with faith and take the risk to love? The Myrrhbearers had their doubts, but they went to the tomb anyway. St. Thomas had his doubts, but he went to go see Christ anyway. And there was an element of love and courage in what they did, which wouldn't have been the case without that uncertainty, without that doubt, and the faith that overcame it. So let's be the bee and use our doubt to build our faith. Be the bee and live orthodoxy. Remember to like and subscribe. I'll see you all next week.